from Cleveland's most accurate weather team. This is 19 First Alert Plus, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
And good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. The severe weather is not here yet, but it is at the doorstep of the border of Ohio. Live look into downtown Cleveland right now, 86 humid degrees out there. Think of that as fuel for the fire. Going to bring in 19 First Alert meteorologist Sam Roberts. Sam, we can see by the radar, it's kind of a mess out there, and it is headed right for us.
Yeah, big line of storms coming through south central and central Michigan. One warning on the map that's well west of Toledo. It's actually way back here in Michigan along the 69 corridor. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. Currently no tornado warnings, although that line does look very, very mean. So what we're expecting over the next few hours is basically from now until 6. Some isolated showers and storms are possible. The key word is isolated. Some of these may be strong to severe, with the main threat being damaging winds. After 6, more numerous storms in the area, and some of those may also be strong to severe. Concerns with those: damaging winds, heavy rain, which may lead to some localized flooding. And then we're also looking at a low end, but not zero and not impossible, hail and tornado threat. So it's going to be a pretty active afternoon and a pretty active evening.
Sam, we're going to take a quick 15-second break before we talk about the rest of the weather, because we also have a first alert for Friday as well. So give us just 15 seconds.
I've represented families just like yours for over 4 decades. Listen, if you need me, call me. You know I'll be there for you, and I'll make them pay. In the meantime, I'll keep an eye out for you.
And here is the 7-day forecast. Sam, walk us through it before we get back to our potential for severe weather tonight.
So it's going to be really hot out there the next couple of days. Thursday, 89. High humidity, so it's going to feel really unpleasant out there, especially in the afternoon. Friday, 19 First Alert Weather Day. The difference between Thursday and Friday is the heat index. So your heat index, or your feels like temperature, is going to be in the triple digits on Friday. And for that reason, we've issued a First Alert Weather Day. Probably going to have a heat advisory coming out at some point from the National Weather Service. I'm sure they'll get to that once we get through these severe thunderstorms. First half of the weekend, scattered storms on Saturday, and then everything gets a lot better by the end of the weekend. Sunday, Monday, the weather looks gorgeous. Does get a little hot and humid, though, as we turn the calendar page to August, as expected.
Sam, let's go back to that radar just one more time, because I think that really gives people an idea of what's headed our direction. It's this same complex threw down some heavy rain and storms in the Chicago area and has barreled across Indiana throughout the afternoon. As we can see, it's right on the border of Indiana and Ohio and coming our way. What should we prepare for? I know you're saying anytime between now and 6. Do we have an estimate on when we think this line might actually get here?
So this is moving pretty fast. We're looking at some new data right now in the weather office. The storm that's severe warned, and probably the rest of the line too, is moving east at 55 miles per hour. So it's moving pretty fast. I mean, these are speeds almost at what you'd be traveling at along the highway. So I think potentially by 3 o'clock we could have some strong thunderstorms in Ottawa, Sandusky, and Seneca counties. That severe thunderstorm warning, of course, is for a Michigan county. I just wanted to get a check of the speed of these. They're producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, or they may produce 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some penny-sized hail. So that's the reason for the warning. And again, if these don't weaken and they don't slow down, you know, we may have some strong thunderstorms in our western viewing area by 3 o'clock. So this is kind of an evolving situation, Dan. We just got some new information in from the Storm Prediction Center. Probably going to have a severe thunderstorm watch coming out here shortly for lower Michigan and northwest Ohio. Erie and Huron counties in Ohio may be included in that, but we'll let you know as soon as the Storm Prediction Center puts that out.
Sam, we certainly appreciate it. We know you folks are going to be busy keeping us all safe over the next few hours. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
All right, take care. It is going to be an active First Alert weather day, so make sure you tune in. One of Sam's favorite sayings is the most accurate forecast is the next forecast. So by the time we get to our 3 o'clock news on Channel 19, they're going to have much more updated information. That storm will now be closer, as you heard Sam say. It could be in our western counties by about 3 o'clock. It's going to be an active evening, so make sure you tune in to Channel 19 as we start 3.5 hours of news and severe weather coverage coming up at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now. Have a safe evening.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social